You ready for some more interesting science about plants? Well, before we do, we got to wrap up that meat eating lesson. Lesson number 10, that meat eating lesson. And the first question was, what do carnivorous plants eat? The answer was D, all of these above. Number 2 was, which of the following is an example of a carnivorous plant? The answer was A, sundew. Number 3, how does a pitcher plant trap its insects? D, insects fall into the leaves and never come back out. Number 4, what is an enzyme? An enzyme is B, a fluid that helps plants digest their prey. And number 5, according to the article, where do carnivorous plants usually live? They usually live in C, the swamps. All right, here is lesson number 11. And it's asking, kind of crowded here by plants today. It's asking, do plants stop growing? Do plants stop growing? Big question, and it has a big word too. It's called photosynthesis. I think I've mentioned it before in one of our other lessons, but you just can't mention it enough because it's so important to plant life. So when you were a baby, just a little one, you grew almost 10 inches in just your first year of life. And then after that, your growth rate or your speed, it slowed down just a little bit after that. But you're still probably growing about 2 to 4 inches each year. When you get to be an adult, well, you stop growing altogether. But what if you never stopped growing? Unlike people and other animals, plants continue to grow throughout their entire life. All plants grow at different speeds or rates. And certain species like bamboo, this is a bamboo plant. I got this one, 6 years ago I got this one. Some species have been known to grow up to 3 feet. 3 feet. That's this much, 36 inches, 3 feet, the width of this desktop. 3 feet in only one day. But there are other plants, like the ancient bristlecone pine, that can take up to 100 years to just grow 1 inch in diameter. Diameter, remember diameter? Even these slow-moving plants are always growing. They never stop growing. In order to grow, plants need water, sunlight, carbon dioxide, thanks to us, and nutrients. Remember what we called those nutrients? Nitrogen from our last lesson, from the soil. All these things are the right ingredients. You're mixing up all those ingredients for the recipe to help plants make their own food called, big word, photosynthesis. Say it, everybody. Photosynthesis. That's right. Some food gets stored for later, and the rest is used for growing. The tiny little tubes inside of the plant carry the food to the leaves and to the roots, which are in the bottom of the picture here, and to the stems, which are the stems right here. Most plants grow from their tips. So they keep growing up, and this is like the tip of the plant, and it keeps going up and up. It keeps growing from its tips, where the new buds form at the end of the stems. But, okay, what if you were a plant? You, that's right. Let's say you're about, I don't know, 4.5 feet, 4.5 feet tall, right? And if you grow an average of 3 inches each year, you'll probably be about 5.5 feet by the time you graduate from high school. But if people grew like plants, you wouldn't stop there. You would keep growing at the same rate. You would be about 7 feet tall by the time you graduated from college or 4 years after high school, and 9 feet tall by the time you're 30 years old. Now, if you should happen to live to be 75, which more of us are all the time, you would be more than, wait for it, 20 feet tall. That's like the size of a house or a building, 20 feet tall. Oh my goodness, those plants are so amazing. Get your notebook, I'll wait for you for a minute. All right, here's your questions for today. And yes, you're numbering to 5 again today. The question number 1 is, how fast do plants grow? Letter A, up to 3 feet a year. B, 1 inch every 100 years. C, an average of 3 inches a year. Or D, at different rates. Number 2, what is it called when plants make their own food? A, photosynthesis. B, carbon dioxide. C, growth rate. Or D, a process. Number 3, where does new plant growth usually occur? A, at the roots. B, at the tips. C, inside those leaves. Or D, in the flowers. Number 4, in this passage, the word rate means A, growth. B, energy. C, speed. Or D, price. And your last question is, when do plants stop growing? When do they stop growing? A, when they become adults. B, when they form new buds. C, after photosynthesis. Or D, they don't stop growing. I wonder which one you're going to choose. Till next time, boys and girls.